As Dirk just mentioned, earlier this week was World Metrology Day on the 20th, a couple days ago. And World Metrology Day always gives us the opportunity to honor the importance of the science of measurement, as well as the men and women who perform those measurements in industry. Well, when it comes to portable 3D metrology, no organization provides more support for users than our longstanding partners, the Coordinate Metrology Society. Their annual conference, the CMSC, is a gathering place for the metrologists, from experts to those new to the field. This year's CMSC takes place at the Diplomat Hotel in sunny Hollywood, Florida, July 20th through 24th.
Humid?
No, well, it'll be nice.
It'll be nice. It'll be nice.
I've been there many times in July in Florida, and it's actually very nice. It is a little warm, but it's nice.
But it's nice.
Yeah, you should.
And it's Hollywood.
You'll like it. It's Hollywood. Right. But there are a great many reasons to attend the CMSC, and there's dozens, for instance, of cutting-edge white paper presentations from leaders in industry and academia. There's a great exhibit hall where you can find the best hardware, software, and peripheral equipment in the industry. And right there in the hall is the measurement zone, which is a place of learning and hands-on testing, and it's a place where metrologists can pit their skills against their peers. So now, in the latest installment of our CMSC Corner segment, we're going to be joined by Robb McIvor of Boeing, who also happens to sit on the CMSC Education Committee. Robb's going to give us a little insight into what we can expect from this year's measurement zone at the CMSC. So, hello, Robb. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Mike. Hi, Dirk. How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Doing good. Doing good. Thank you. Thank you again for joining us, Robb. Well, the CMSC, of course, interesting group. We've been associated with you guys for a long time, and you've been active in the Coordinate Metrology Society for some time as well. Given your various roles within the group, not to mention your position in the industry with Boeing, how would you characterize the past and the current state of knowledge transfer for metrologists?
Okay. Well, way back in the dark ages, and for me that was 1979. Toolmakers like myself, that's my job at Boeing. We spent a lot of time measuring using transits, levels, alignment telescopes, and if you'd mentioned the word metrology to any of us, myself included, back then, I probably would have said something similar to your bit last year about World Meteorology Day as opposed to Metrology Day. So all of our training back then was essentially given to us by the folks that have been there for the last 20 or 30 years. And so essentially we're just talking a system of on-the-job training. You were taught to operate the device, and that's about all you were taught to operate. So today, at least within our shops, laser trackers are our bread and butter go-to metrology devices. And the biggest difference there in terms of training is that the initial knowledge transfer that we want to get across to our measurement folks, our metrology folks, is going to be done via classroom training with good informational student guides, in other words, good formal training with good instructional materials. Today's laser trackers, today's devices, period, laser radar, PCMMs, all sorts of different types of scanners. They're way too complex, and the software was way too capable to just try to get the basics of how to use that equipment done in the old OJT system. So we encourage and we push very hard, at least at Boeing, the formal classroom training with good instructional materials, and then once they've finished up that initial part of their training, then they go out to the shop floor, and that's where the OJT, or the on-the-job training, pays a big dividend, working with people that have been there for a while and know the applications, know how to apply those devices to the stuff that we do.
Well, given all that, Robb, and given the nature of training and learning in the industry, the measurement zone really assists with that, I think, and I think that's really the reason why you guys have had that in the CMSC. So tell us a little bit about what we can expect from the measurement zone this year, and maybe what's new in the zone for 2015.
Okay, so it's a great question. Measurement zone's been around, actually, I believe this is its 5th year. I think the first year we did it was in 2010. So we've got 5 years and going strong and expanding every year. So this year the zone is divided up into 5 different areas. The first 4 are pretty much all education based. The zone 1 is going to be have a variety of things going on. One of which is there's going to be a Jeopardy-like quiz. I don't think you actually have to formulate your answer as a question, but it's going to be a Jeopardy-like quiz every day. And the areas that the quiz or the Jeopardy-like game is going to cover include interpreting design documents and requirements, measurement device knowledge, pre-measurement planning, performing measurement operations, analyzing data, and ethics. These happen to be those 5 areas that tie in with the duty areas that the certification exams cover. So there's also, in that same Zone 1, there's going to be laser tracker workshops presented by Ben Hughes from NPL in England, or the UK. And there will be e-learning tablets there loaded with different types of instructional software. Zone 2 will cover blended learning. There'll be more e-tablets in Zone 2, and those are going to be loaded with training programs, including introduction to metrology, introduction to measurement uncertainty and dimensional measurement, including GD&T and measurement principles and methods. Zone 3, we're going to have at least three different pieces of equipment, and attendees will have an opportunity to go in there and operate that equipment using a scripted process. And there will be application engineers and observers to answer questions and take care of any difficulties that may occur with the equipment, or actually, things they might run into similar to what they might run into on a shop floor. So we'll have people there to provide some OJT, so to speak, on those measurement devices. Zone 4, we're going to have a FANUC robot in there, and the end effector on the robot will be a hexagon like a T-scan, and it will also be running a scripted process, and attendees are welcome to come by and work with that scripted process to operate that robot. And then, as similar to last year, we're going to have a measurement contest again. That's going to be in Zone 5. We're a little unsure exactly on what the object we're going to be measuring will be, but we'll have several different manufacturers, laser trackers, in Zone 5. Attendees will be able to pre-register for the measurement competition, pick their laser tracker, and then on a measurement task, which is a timed event. And the person that will win the event is the person who comes up with the best data within that time period. So yeah, 5 zones this year. A lot of learning going on in Zones 1 through 4, and the competition in Zone 5.
So Rob, we're getting close to the end here. I want to wrap it up here and ask you a question about the information that's going to be gathered in the zone. So how does that information help improve the Society's Level 1 and Level 2 certifications? And also, how does the testing assist the user who might be preparing to sit for one of these proctored exams?
Sure. So the very first iteration of the measurement zone in 2010 showed that instruction or education and consistent processes and procedures really improves reliability and accuracy. Repeatability and accuracy. So the information that comes out of the measurement zone is information that the certification subcommittee takes a look at and says, well, here's some duty areas that seem to be a little bit weak. People consistently are making mistakes in this duty area. Other duty areas, they seem to be very strong, and so they can take that information from the measurement zone, and they can, and initially for the Level 1, Level 2 certs, they were able to incorporate a lot of that information into the 5 duty areas that each certification exam cover, and create an exam that hopefully tested that person's knowledge so that they can come out and make that repeatable and accurate data. As far as preparing for the exam, the only thing specific to exam prep is if you can do this Jeopardy competition and you do a really good job, because if you think about the Jeopardy board, it's got the topics at the top, and the money categories down below. The topics at the top of the Jeopardy board are going to be those 5 duty areas. If you do well in the Jeopardy competition, you're probably in pretty good shape in terms of sitting for either the level 1 or the level 2 exam. If you find that the categories are kind of over your head, or they covering knowledge that you don't have, it's probably time to go back out and get some more education, find some classes, get some books, and study up in those duty areas where you feel that you're weak before you sit down for that exam.
Okay, well, thanks, Rob. This is Robb McIvor, toolmaker with Boeing up there in Washington, and also a member of the CMSC Education Committee. And we're going to be seeing you actually in just a few weeks there at the CMSC show in Hollywood.
Yeah, pretty soon. Well, thanks for the opportunity to come on and talk about the measurement zone.
Okay. Happy Metrology Day.
Thanks, Rob.
Same to you guys.
We'll see you soon.
See you, Rob.
Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah, you know, if you're at all involved in large-scale, portable 3D metrology, the CMSC basically is the only show here in the United States where all that comes together, along with some great talk. So
large volume, close tolerance, and those tolerances are getting closer and closer.
They're getting closer and closer, yeah.
All the time. So a really good show to check out if you're in that space.
That's right. Okay.